My wife's support for my sister's entrepreneurial dream nearly cost me everything. My story begins like many others, with a relatively normal life, a loving marriage, and the usual family dynamics. I, a 34-year-old male, have been married to my wife, Sarah, for 7 blissful years. She's a wonderful woman, or so I thought, with a vibrant personality and a career in marketing that often had her buzzing with new ideas and connections. I work as a software engineer, a stable job that provides a comfortable living for us. We live in a modest but cozy house, and our biggest drama up until recently was deciding whose turn it was to do the dishes. Then there's my younger sister, Emily, who is 29. Emily has always been a bit of a free spirit, bouncing from one passion project to another. While I've always admired her enthusiasm, her track record for actually bringing these projects to fruition, or making them financially viable, has been, shall we say, less than stellar. Our parents, bless their hearts, have always been incredibly supportive of Emily, sometimes to a fault. They've funded her art studio, her organic soap business, her artisanal candle line, and her brief foray into freelance graphic design. Each venture, while started with much fanfare and family investment, eventually fizzled out, leaving a trail of unused equipment and slightly awkward family discussions about lessons learned. About a year and a half ago, Emily announced her latest grand idea, a high-end, bespoke bakery specializing in gluten-free, vegan, allergen-friendly desserts. She envisioned a chic storefront, a strong online presence, and a loyal customer base of health-conscious foodies. On paper, it sounded like a niche with potential. In reality, Emily's baking skills were rudimentary. She could follow a recipe, but creativity and consistency were not her strong suits. More importantly, she had zero business acumen, no understanding of supply chains, marketing strategies beyond a pretty Instagram feed, or the sheer grind it takes to run a successful food establishment. My parents, having already sunk a considerable amount of their retirement savings into Emily's past ventures, were hesitant to invest further. They loved Emily dearly, but even they had their limits. This is where Sarah, my wife, entered the picture. Seemingly as Emily's champion, Sarah, with her marketing background, was captivated by Emily's vision. She saw the potential, the uniqueness, the story behind Emily's dream. She started spending hours with Emily, brainstorming names, designing logos, helping with a business plan that, to my cynical eye, looked more like a colorful brochure than a serious financial document. I was initially touched by Sarah's enthusiasm and willingness to support my sister. It felt like a wonderful bonding experience, a testament to how well my wife integrated into my family. The first red flag, though, was the increasing frequency of business meetings at our house. Emily, who lived about an hour away, started staying over more often, sometimes for several days at a time. Our quiet evenings became filled with discussions about organic almond flour suppliers, custom packaging designs, and the perfect shade of pastel for the bakery's branding. My input, when I offered it, usually cautious advice about financial projections or market research, was often dismissed with a wave of the hand by both Sarah and Emily, who were riding a wave of entrepreneurial fervor. "You're too practical," Sarah would say. "You don't understand the creative vision." Then came the money talk. Emily needed capital, a significant amount. Her initial estimate for setting up the bakery, leasing a space, buying equipment, and initial ingredient costs was around $150,000. My parents, as mentioned, were out. Emily approached me first, hoping for a loan. I explained gently that while I loved her, I couldn't risk that kind of money on a venture with such a high failure rate, especially since Sarah and I were saving for a down payment on a larger house and thinking about starting a family. I suggested she look into small business loans, grants, or angel investors. Emily was visibly disappointed but seemed to understand. That's when Sarah stepped in. She became convinced that Emily's bakery was going to be the next big thing. She started talking about it constantly, not just as a fun side project but as a serious investment opportunity. She came to me one evening, after Emily had gone back home, with a proposal. "We should invest in Emily's bakery," she said, her eyes shining with excitement. "Think of the returns. And its family. We'd be helping her achieve her dream." I was shocked. "Sarah, you heard what I told Emily. It's too risky. She doesn't have the experience, and we need our savings for our future, our future." Sarah countered, "But this is our future. Imagine if this takes off. We could be part owners in a hugely successful business. We could use some of our investment money, the money we have in stocks. It's not like we are touching the down payment fund." I had a significant portion of my savings, accumulated over years of diligent work and smart investments, in a diversified stock portfolio. This was my personal nest egg, a safety net, and a foundation for our joint future. Sarah also had her own savings, albeit smaller, which she mostly kept in a traditional savings account. We had always kept our finances mostly separate, contributing proportionally to household expenses and joint savings goals. This arrangement had worked well for us, providing both independence and shared responsibility. The argument that followed was the first serious one we'd had in a long time. I explained, meticulously, why investing in Emily's unproven bakery was a bad idea. I talked about market analysis, business plans, the importance of a solid track record, and the emotional toll of mixing family with finances. Sarah, however, was not listening. She became increasingly agitated, accusing me of lacking faith in my sister, of being unsupportive, and of being too conservative with money. "You just don't want Emily to succeed," she snapped, a sentiment that stung deeply. Eventually, the conversation ended in a stalemate, with me firmly refusing to invest any of my money. I thought that was the end of it. I was wronged. A few weeks later, I noticed some unusual activity in our joint bank account. Nothing major, just a few larger than normal transfers to an external account I didn't recognize. I brought it up to Sarah, who brushed it off as prepayments for marketing services she was doing for a client. I didn't press it, assuming it was related to her freelance work. The color drained from Emily's face as the truth unfurled before her. She tried to deny it, to spin more lies, but the evidence was overwhelming. Sarah's parents, initially defensive, slowly started to grasp the magnitude of Emily's deception. Their golden child was not only a liar but a manipulator who had almost destroyed my life and their daughter's relationship. The atmosphere in the room shifted from accusatory to heavy with shame and anger. It was a devastating revelation for Sarah's parents. Their perfect daughter, the one they had always indulged, was exposed as a calculating schemer. Emily, cornered and exposed, finally broke down, confessing to everything. She admitted to selling the locket because she needed money desperately, and then, after overhearing me talk about my inheritance, decided to frame me, hoping to coerce me into paying her off. She tearfully begged for forgiveness, not for the damage she had done to me, but for the shame she had brought upon her family. Sarah, who had been listening in stunned silence, finally looked at me, her eyes filled with tears, a mix of apology, relief, and profound sadness. She hugged me tightly, whispering apologies for not fully trusting me, for letting her family's pressure sway her. I held her, feeling a mix of emotions myself. The weight of the false accusation was lifted, but the emotional scars remained. The aftermath was complicated. Sarah's parents were utterly devastated. They apologized profusely to me, expressing their deep regret for ever doubting me and for enabling Emily's manipulative behavior. They offered to make amends, but I told them that their sincere apology was enough. Emily, however, faced the consequences of her actions. Her parents, finally seeing the extent of her manipulation and deceit, decided to cut her off financially and insisted she seek professional help. She was ostracized by many family members and friends, her reputation in tatters. For Sarah and me, the experience was a severe test of our relationship. It had pushed us to the brink, exposing the vulnerabilities and fault lines that can exist even in the strongest bonds. We spent countless hours talking, rebuilding the trust that had been fractured, and healing the emotional wounds. Sarah, to her credit, stood by me through the difficult aftermath, recognizing the injustice and the emotional toll it had taken on me. She confronted her own internal biases and the lingering effects of her family dynamics. We decided to postpone the wedding, realizing that we needed time to process everything and to strengthen our foundation before making such a profound commitment. We embarked on couples counseling, not because our relationship was failing, but because we wanted to ensure we were both emotionally equipped to handle future challenges and to build a truly resilient partnership. The inheritance, which had been the catalyst for Emily's scheme, remained untouched. I used a small portion of it to cover the legal and investigative fees, but the rest was still there, a symbol of the future Sarah and I were trying to build. This entire ordeal, while painful, taught me invaluable lessons about trust, resilience, and the true nature of family. It showed me the depths of human greed and manipulation, but also the strength of true love and unwavering support. It reinforced my belief in standing up for myself, even when facing immense pressure and false accusations. Sarah and I are now stronger than ever. We recently started planning our wedding again, this time with a renewed sense of purpose and a deeper understanding of each other. We are focusing on creating our own family unit, one built on honesty, respect, and unconditional love, free from the toxic influence of external negativity. We have set clear boundaries with Emily and her parents, ensuring that our future and our peace of mind are protected. While the memories of the past year are still vivid, they serve as a constant reminder of the challenges we overcame and the unwavering strength of our bond. I am confident that we will face any future obstacles hand in hand, stronger and more united than ever before. This experience, while deeply traumatic, ultimately brought us closer, forging a bond that I believe is truly unbreakable. It was a harsh lesson, but one that ultimately paved the way for a more authentic and resilient future for us both.